Good morning, crickets. How's everyone doing? We're going to start today by doing our calendar. This month we are still in the month of May. M-A-Y, May. And we're going to start with our song of the days of the week. Are you ready? Start with Sunday. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Today is Tuesday, today is Tuesday, today is Tuesday, all day long. Today is Tuesday and we love Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, all day long. We're gonna jump down 4 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're gonna find out what number comes after the 18. We're gonna count starting at number 1. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And the number 19 looks like this. A 1 and a 9. 19. I'm going to put it right here, right under Tuesday. So today is Tuesday, May 19, 2020. Hi crickets, I'm going to read you guys a book called Curious George Goes to the Beach. This monkey is a very, very curious monkey. This is George. He lived with his friend, the man with the yellow hat. He was a good little monkey and always very curious. Today the man had a surprise for George. He took George to the beach. They found a spot on the warm sand. Then another surprise. George saw his friend Betsy. "Look, Betsy," her grandmother said, "it's Curious George." But Betsy did not even smile. She had never been to the ocean before. She was a little scared. "I know you're a good swimmer," the man told her. "You'll be fine once you get in the water." Feeling better, Betsy walked towards the shore with her grandmother. George helped spread the beach blanket and set aside their lunch. He was looking forward to a picnic, but it was not yet time to eat. It was time to play. In no time, George was having fun. He learned a new game. He dug in the sand, and he made a new friend. Monkeys are good at making friends. When he took a break, George watched the lifeguard. The lifeguard sat in a special chair. Sometimes he blew a whistle. And sometimes he looked through binoculars. It looked like fun to be a lifeguard. George was curious. Could he be a lifeguard? Before long, the lifeguard took a break. Here was George's chance. Watching the crowd from up in the special chair, George felt just like a lifeguard. He looked through the binoculars. There was a lot to see at the beach. He saw seagulls flying high above and saw Betsy on the shore below. She still had not been in the water. Then the lifeguard saw George. "Hey," he yelled, "that's no place for a monkey." George thought it was a fine place for a monkey, but he did not want to cause trouble, so he climbed down. Back at the beach blanket, George was hungry for a snack. No one would miss just one cracker, thought George. He took one out and put it on a napkin. It looked good. Now, if only he had some cheese. Uh-oh, what happened to his cracker? Well, he would just have to get a new one. George found another cracker, then turned back around. But now his cheese was gone. Who could be taking his snacks? George was curious. He put down his cracker and waited. Who could it be? Now George saw who was taking his treats. It was a seagull, and he was still hungry. George took out another cracker and the bird took it right out of his hand. What fun to feed a seagull! George saw more seagulls down by the water. Betsy was there too. George was curious. Could those seagulls be hungry? Indeed, they were hungry. Soon a whole flock had gathered. George had not fed them fast enough. Luckily, Betsy was glad to help. Out of the basket came more crackers, cookies, a cake, and even the bread for sandwiches. Still, the birds were hungry. But when George reached for more snacks, the basket was gone. He and George were having so much fun they didn't notice the tide coming in. Oh no, the basket's going. They didn't notice the picnic basket was floating out to sea. George felt bad. He hadn't meant to lose the basket. Could there be a way to catch it? George thought and thought. Then he remembered the lifeguard. George was no lifeguard, but to save the basket, he knew just what to do. Quickly, he found a float and carried it to the water. Jumping aboard, George began to paddle. He paddled out a little farther and a little farther and a little farther until finally he reached the basket. Betsy cheered. Then, as George paddled back to the beach, Betsy swam out to meet him. Everyone was glad to see George safe on the shore. The lifeguard, who had seen everything from his chair, said, "That was some rescue." George felt proud. The man with the yellow hat picked up the basket. He was curious. "George, is this our basket?" he asked. Poor George. After all that, the basket was empty. There would be no picnic on the beach, and it was all his fault. Then Betsy's grandmother said, "Won't you join us for lunch? We have plenty. And look, now we have a reason to celebrate." Thanks to George, they did have a reason to celebrate. Betsy was in the water, and she wasn't scared anymore. She was having fun. After everyone joined Betsy and George for a swim, it was time to eat at last. There were sandwiches and chips, bananas, cookies, and watermelon. There was plenty for everyone, and there was even a little for guests. The end. Hi Crickets, we just finished reading Curious George Goes to the Beach, because this week we're learning about things to do at the beach or fun that you can have at the beach. What I want you guys to do today for art, I'll show you really quick. You're going to use coffee filters if you have coffee filters at home. If not, then maybe you could try with other paper. But coffee filters work really good with this project. What you're going to do, you can have mommy or daddy help you. Fold it in half like this. And you're going to cut a piece, a small piece, a big piece from this side and a small side from this one. You're going to cut it out, and then when you open it up, it's going to look like a seashell. And I'm going to show you what we're going to do right now with this, okay? So once you cut out your seashell and you open it up, the coffee filter, you're going to start decorating it. Ready? She's trying to do an R on hers, and I'm just going to do a pattern on mine. So try and do as many colors as you can. And I'm going to show you guys after you're done what you're going to do with it.
You want to do this?
So this one is mine. I just did different colors. You could do it however you like. Riley's doing letters. You could do whatever you like to it. And after you're done, you could spray it. If you have a spray bottle, you could spray it with water. Or I'm going to show you what I'm going to do here. I'm going to use, since I don't have a spray bottle with me right now, I'm going to use this right here. I'm going to put a napkin under it, and with water, I'm going to get some water in my hand, and I'm going to sprinkle it just with my fingers, like this. Put some water in your hand, sprinkle it all over it. You can use as much water as you like. So this is happening to your colors. You see how it smears? Just doing it, and it's going to really, really awesome once you're all done. It looks a lot funnier when you do it with a spray bottle. But if you do it, if it's standing up, if someone's holding it for you, and then you're spraying water to it, that also looks really awesome. This is mine. Pick it up. Can you guys see that? You can put it up against your window once it's all dry and it will look super awesome. I'm gonna put mine out to dry outside and then I'll show you how it looks when it's all fully done. So this is my finished seashell, coffee filter seashell. It got a little bit wet right here, but that's okay. You can see how awesome it looks. Kind of looks like a tie-dye seashell. If you have Play-Doh at home or kinetic sand, or if you don't have any of that, maybe you could have your parents help you make Play-Doh at home and you could build your own castle. Try and make your own castle just using either kinetic sand. If you have a sandbox at home, maybe you could just use a sandbox, or with Play-Doh, homemade Play-Doh or Play-Doh that you bought at the store. Either one, you could try and make your very own sandcastle using the Play-Doh. Later today during Zoom, we are going to do bingo. And for bingo, you're gonna have mommy, daddy, or any grown-up that's in your house print out. I sent 2 different ones, so you can print out either this one or the other one, and you're gonna have to have it blank. And when I see you later today during Zoom, we're gonna play bingo together. But you guys are gonna have to guess each item as I'm describing it to you. So I'm not gonna tell you, oh, it's the ball. I'm gonna say it's something round that you like to play with. It's gonna be really fun. So I can't wait to see you guys later so we could do bingo. And you also could do this worksheet that's called Big and Little. And this worksheet, what you're going to do is you're going to color all of these and cut them out, and then you're gonna have to sort them. So if you see the little chair, do you think the little chair is gonna go in the little column or the big column? Yeah, the little column. And the big chair is gonna go in the big column. Same thing with the umbrella. There's a little umbrella and a big umbrella. So you're gonna have to cut them all out, and then you're gonna sort them out in either the big column. The big column is the one that has the big letters, it says big, and the little column is the one that has the little letters that says little. And that's gonna be your worksheet for the day today. I will see you guys later, crickets.